Hey footy fans, welcome to the Point of Difference Rugby League podcast. I'm your host Dave, and today we're going back in the day with an absolute superstar, the first Indigenous man to play both codes, League and Union, for Australia. It's the one and only Andrew Walker. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, doing really well, Dave. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm awesome, man. I see you've been doing a bit of training for a half marathon. How's the heat over there, man? That has to be rough.
Oh, mate, look, like they say about Queensland, beautiful, beautiful one day, hotter the next, you know? Yeah.
So you said you're based in Queensland now. So whereabouts are you? What are you doing post footy? You know, how's your life sort of been lately? What are you up to?
Well, Dave, moved out of suburbia, sold my house. I bought 80 acres out here. I've got 19 horses. Um, Starting my own log cabin, just about
Wow.
doing my own license building license so I can build my log cabin.
Yeah.
At the moment, you can see my beautiful caravan at the moment, but wouldn't be anywhere else but here, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. I love it. So, as a proud Indigenous man, what are your thoughts on the upcoming preseason Indigenous match that's been happening every year and the Indigenous round? Is that something you're like really happy to see happening in the game of rugby league these days?
Like David, I think it's a great concept, between the two, the two cultures,
Yeah.
because it sort of starts off the year really well. I think you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and it brings them two cultures really closer together because they've got the same similar backgrounds and everything else.
Yeah.
But it's good for the ones I believe I think it's good for the younger generation.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic, man. I absolutely love it. You know, I'm a Kiwi. I've got, European heritage, but I'm just so passionate about the game for the Māori side of it, for the Kiwis and seeing the haka and then the Indigenous tribal dances and stuff. It's like gives me chills, man. I love it. I think it's incredible.
Oh, mate. Well, with tomorrow, you know what I mean. With Australia Day here, but as you're saying about culture, that's what it's all about. I think
Yeah.
that's what it's all about, and it's surely, I think it's surely just bringing the younger generation back to their
Yeah.
culture. You know what I mean? We're slowly losing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over here, I don't think we have enough strong leaders,
Right.
and I think we need to, you know, go back to our ancestries and
Yeah.
get their beliefs. I think. Yeah.
And teach that younger generation to be proud of their heritage and who they are.
Yeah, that's right, Dave.
Yeah.
Because there's not a well, I find there's not enough strong black men over here,
Yeah.
and that are leaders, and I'd like to be one of them.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Oh,
Mm.
that's fantastic. So let's rewind the clock. Where did you grow up as a young fella? Who was the young Andrew Walker, and what was life like for you?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm the youngest of 13 in my family.
Holy moly!
Yeah,
Wow.
so I had 6 and 6, and on the 13, but I always say that's a lucky number.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I grew up in New South Wales, down a place called Nowra, but I lived in Bomaderry. Um, just learnt, learnt off my older siblings. You know, not what to do. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yep.
they all had contracts. And they just didn't want to leave home, and they just didn't believe in their ability. I think, or that town was going to run away and leave them.
Right.
So, but I played for Bomaderry. Kicked off in Bomaderry as a young bloke. Played for Bomaderry until I was Bomaderry Tigers until I was probably 15, and played a bit of rugby in between them. And I left home. To go and have a trial with Randwick.
Yes.
At 16, and went up there and had a trial. And next minute I was walking out the gate, and Jeff Sales gone, "Where you going? Where you going, mate?" And I said, I'm about to catch a train home." And he's going, "No, I don't think you're going home. I think you're going to stay." And next minute, that's how my future, my rugby union and rugby league career started.
That's awesome, man. So you did play for Randwick alongside the likes of like Eddie Jones and players like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Well, I had Eddie, Ewan McKenzie,
Yeah.
Dave Campese,
Oh, stop it. He's a legend. Yeah.
Peter Jorgensen, and my idol, who really taught me rugby, was Lloyd Walker.
Okay.
Like he was, he said, "I'll play inside centre. I'm going to teach you a lot."
Yeah.
And I was in awe of that. You know what I mean? And I loved that man ever since. He taught me rugby, and we had some really great players there. You know, that really taught me rugby. But Lloyd was my number one.
And you won a premiership with that Randwick side, didn't you?
Yeah, the thing was I played all year in first grade.
Yeah.
And then old Knoxie come back, David Knox.
Right.
He come from back from overseas, and they said, "Oh well, Knoxie's here now." So, but I said, "What about me? I got you to a grand final, so why can't I finish the grand final?" So I ended up playing a reserve grade grand final with Eddie Jones and my good mate John Flett.
Okay.
And we end up winning it. So, and that was a great year. I loved it. Loved rugby, and I wish it was professional back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and I was only like 16, and I went there to look after my family, and I had a little family to look after, and that's why I did it.
That's awesome, man. So to change subject a little, which NRL side or Winfield Cup side back in those days did you support growing up?
Believe it or not, it runs in the family. Mum, Dad was a Parramatta.
Really?
Parramatta supporters. Yeah,
I wouldn't have picked that.
Supporters.
No.
So we had no choice. But my idol was Michael Cronin.
Oh, he's a legend.
Yeah, he was a local boy down home.
Yeah.
Down in Gerringong. And he was just up the road from us. And mate, I got to see him, and you know what I mean? And he sort of showed me a bit of a pathway, you know, not what to do, you know, with these like these players today. Like if it wasn't for the people behind sitting on the ground with yelling out for us, who would we be?
Oh, that's it. The fans make the teams who they are. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I was only born in the early 80s, so I didn't get to watch them in their days live or anything. And being in New Zealand, there's not a lot of coverage, but I've watched a lot of highlights of the Winfield Cup days. And I just think Brett Kenny, Peter Sterling, Ray Price, all those guys, Eric Gray, they're just freaks, you know, they're unreal traded, just unreal.
Like over the salary cap back then, I'm pretty sure they would have been over the salary cap, but that was a great team, you know what I mean? But back then they were playing, but they had to work at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I done at my start of the career.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Okay, so here's a big question. What were you like as a trainer in your young days? Were you one of the ones that really put a shift in at training? Or did you like even just living at home? Would you get up early, go for a run? Like, what were you like in your young days?
To be honest, Dave, I was the laziest person ever. Like hated training, just wanted to come to the games and play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was a person that really stuck out in my head, and that was my brother, Alf Walker.
Okay.
Alf Walker, he played for the Raiders, and I got to see the professionalism when he was at the Raiders.
Yeah.
Back in 87 and 88, 89, and that turned my life around. You know what I mean? It's just, he said, if you put the hard work in, you get good rewards. So I'm glad I had that with me. So.
Oh, awesome, big brother. Well done. Okay, so 1992, you made an official switch to rugby league. You went to the Dragons, but what made you decide on rugby league over rugby union?
Look, rugby union wasn't professionalism. You know what I mean? Like, and I just went up there to have a trial, just to find out, see if I was good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that 1 year with the Randwick. I ended up playing under-19s Australia and under-21s Australia.
Wow.
And I got to play against Big John Alomu, and
stop it,
mate. Wow. He was awesome back then. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a wrecking ball, just destroying everyone. And I was in awe of it. You know what I mean? And St. George come at me with a $50,000 contract back then.
That's not bad for those days. Crikey.
Yeah, well, little did I know, like I was flat out trying to see $5 back then.
Exactly.
You know, and by then I had a girlfriend then, and it's my wife now.
Oh, wow.
And we had a little one, Cherie, and you know, I had to take that money to support.
Yeah.
And St. George gave me an offer.
So when you came to the Dragons, was it a case of you just turned up one day and said, "Hey, I want to trial"? Like, how did that process work out?
Well, the process sort of like they saw who I was at Randwick.
Okay.
And they saw this young kid playing 19s, under 21s, and they've gone, "Oh wow!" And it was a great person, Max Ninnis.
Okay.
He was their development bloke. So he actually come across to me. He actually come across and went, "Oh, how about you want to come to the Dragons?" I said, "What? The Dragons?" And like back then, that was my team.
Dude, they were the holy grail around that time. They were unbelievable.
Mate, like I wouldn't back them now. Who is St. George Illawarra to me? You know what I mean? So
I get you.
Like they were one of the greatest clubs. Like, you know what I mean? They had the support. Like South Sydney, why couldn't they stand up? You know what I mean? And that really hurt. But St. George gave me my first opportunity, and I just took it with both hands and just wanted to find out who I was, because I always wanted to play league. Yeah. But it was just whatever came, I think. Yeah.
Man, 50K in 1992 is great money for rugby league.
Mate, back then, money. You know what I mean? Like I was a millionaire.
Yeah, man. Terry Hermanson was telling me there was players being signed for like, you'd be lucky to get $5,000, you know, and yeah, so you take 50 every day of the week.
Oh, mate, that was a minimum wage back then. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so I took that at 16, and I thought, and I thought I was a Nick Politis.
Dude, you know, that's so good. 50 grand at 16 years old. I was doing a paper run for like $20 a week.
Yeah, well, I just turned 17. I just turned. Well, I was a little bit too young. Well, they sort of waited around a bit. Like I was 17, and they gave me a scholarship. You know what I mean? It made me linger on a little bit. So they already, you know, penciled me in. But and when I actually come over, I signed in 92, and I just turned probably 18, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, I just turned 18, and there it was, and I went, wow. And I said, well, this is the start of my career. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And that's how it panned out. Like for my career, I think, Dave, like who was supposed to make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this Indigenous kids weren't supposed to make it in an environment, but I did. Somehow.
And you did, and you did amazing, like just quietly. So you're part of the amazing Dragons squad. They were an absolute machine, going back-to-back grand finals, 92, 93. You were in the squad, but did they give you much of a run over those few years?
Well, I started off, you know, like finding my feet, you know what I mean, playing reserve grade, you know what I mean, playing with Nathan Brown and Gordon Tallis, you know what I mean. Like we all lived together, Gordon Tallis and Nathan Brown, myself. And Matty Parsons and Clayton Roberts. So we all end up living behind the club. Mm-hmm. And it was called Old Lob Crescent and Jeff Wittenberg, mind you. And we all lived together, and that's how that sort of started, you know what I mean? So I sort of kicked off with the Dragons there, and I really wanted to find out where if I was really good enough, Dave, you know. So and it all sort of panned out, but I sort of second guessed myself, but I said, look, let's rip in and see if I was good enough. So I really hit my straps in probably 93.
Yep.
Probably 93. Started off really well. I started in Canberra. I started in the first grade game in Canberra, first game ever. Nice. 93, and I ended up getting having a young bloke being real cocky and naive, and I think Steve Stone got underneath my skin. And he's niggling me out in the field. So I decided to clock him one. And I was the first person who ever got the high tackle.
Right.
So I really clocked him one, and I gave Mao one as well. Nearly broke my arm on Mao. So I had them, you know, and I got sent off, and I lasted 12 minutes.
Oh, is that it? Oh my God. That's awesome.
and it was a little bit hard to sort of come back from it because I sort of, 6 months out of the game,
Yeah.
sort of you try to find your feet, and next minute you're going, oh shit, where am I? Where am I really at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not training with the boys. I haven't, can't play, just training.
Yeah.
So, but lucky for the boys I live with, they really helped me along.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really stuck by me and helped me along, especially Jeff Wittenberg. Like he was a really good mate of mine. Like he ended up being one of the groomies at my wedding.
That's amazing, man. That's so cool. So you guys, like I said, you went to back-to-back grand finals. You didn't get to play in the grand finals, but what was it like being part of the squad? Like you guys had Ricky Walford and Noel Goldthorpe and Tony Priddle and you had Brian Smith as coach. Like what's the general feeling through the squad and going into grand finals against the Broncos?
Like that was a great feeling, like a great lead up for the 2 years, like going there. Like for myself as a young bloke, getting to see that.
Yes.
It sort of drove me on, like I wanted more. But, playing with the side like that and with the side we had for that 2 years, like that was a great side. It was a great mixture of old and youth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But Brian Smith was really a really great coach. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he had the teacher mentality. You know what I mean? But like he was hard and but he just sort of knew. He knew how to talk to blokes. You know what I mean? I just think he just knew how to talk to blokes and bring the best out of them. You know what I mean? Like we all sort of cringed a little bit on the Monday going into the video because we're going, oh sugar, who's he going to pick on today? You know what I mean? So that's how that was. But
right.
Them 2 years was a great year. We had a great mixture, and I wish we would have won that one. You know what I mean? Just but a great feeling. It was a great lead up to it, and a great 2 years.
Yeah.
Great 2 years to make the grand finals. I was there for the four. I signed for actually 4 years.
Yep.
And I sort of and I sort of went home. I went home for the third year. Yeah.
Okay. Even though the Dragons lost the 92 final and they got touched up a bit, let's be honest. But Ricky Walford scored one of the greatest tries at that grand final, if you recall. He just scored a beauty in the corner. He just got it down, making a nice bust down the touchline. Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
Yeah, he did. Like like especially that year, like Ricky was a great mentor for me at that club. He really took me under his wings and showed me what to do and how to do it and when to do it. It was sort of like a time management sort of thing in my career, sort of thing. And that sort of led into the games, you know what I mean? And that's why I become I don't know, probably a great player, because it was time management in a game, when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, but that was a bloody really good, great year. Like I really loved it. I learned the professionalism, the professionalism of rugby league.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, with Ricky scoring that try, you know what I mean, that sort of gave us a boost. But I just think them 2 years we didn't really have the cattle like Brisbane had. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was
this squad.
Like,
wow.
To be honest, it was a state of origin side.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? And it just went to show. It just went to show how much management they had in time management as the games come along.
Yeah.
Like, it sort of got flustered when they scored, two tries or something, and we're all dropping our heads. You know what I mean? Like, it was only young. Well, some of us was young, but some of us old. It was that we needed someone to step up and go, righto, boys, this is where we're at. All right, but Michael Beattie had that.
Yeah,
he was a great leader, great captain. I loved him. You know what I mean? And we had Mick Potter at the back. You know what I mean?
Mate, he's a legend.
Oh, mate, Potts, I loved him, mate.
So cool.
Yeah, loved him. So it was that time management, I think. Like during the games, like we sort of got a little bit flustered. You know what I mean? Look, because at games like through them years, we were leading. We were always leading.
Yeah, you guys were up there, man.
We always found it hard. We always led in the game. Not always, like, we never sort of really come back from a game. And that was and with the atmosphere of a grand final and everything else, we sort of got a little bit flustered, I think.
Yeah. And then there's that moment where I think it's Kevin Walters pushes Kieran Walters out of the way at dummy half, gives it to Willie Kahn, who gives it to Steve Renoff and goes length of the field with Ricky Walford chasing it. That's one of the iconic grand final tries of all time, in my opinion.
Oh, mate, that just
And
reminds me of
wow,
that just reminds me of Mark Corn's try in the state of origin.
Oh,
You know what
mate,
I
that
mean?
was epic in the last seconds
Like
of the game.
it was a bit like deja vu to me. Like you know what I mean? Just someone stepped up, actually stepped up and went, "You're right, boys. We got an overlap out here. We got an overlap.
Yeah,
Just found space.
that
You know what I
vision's
mean?
unreal.
Like that's what I find today. Like the robots today,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely
You
robots.
just
Like
wouldn't see that now, would you? You wouldn't.
no way. Well, you
No
probably
way.
see it. You probably see it if someone, if someone raw like myself, come
Yeah,
like we're allowed to play.
yeah,
We're allowed to play, not being a robot. Like you know what I mean?
yeah, man.
Like I find it. I always found it. If you run the space, you're gonna make overlaps.
Yep.
You know what I
No,
mean?
that's
Like
fine.
now it's all bash and barge, bash and barge. But if you really, if you've got the brain to play,
Yeah,
like if you see it, why don't they do it? Because a lot of players today are a little bit scared to do it, or they're playing, or they're not even playing next week.
that's right. And that's why, in particular, when I started this podcast, I wanted to track down players like yourself from that amazing era. Before today's NRL, it's that Winfield Cup, and even the early 2000s was still an amazing era. But yeah, the 80s and 90s to me, gold, absolute gold rugby league, because that was my childhood and watching all that. But still, the players that came through that generation were simply amazing.
Well, as you say, Dave, you don't see the likes of myself and Matty Bowens and JT, you know what I mean, going out
Yeah.
try and stuff, you know what I mean, and
Uh,
and but we were entertainers.
yeah.
Like I'll say, we were entertainers on the field. We used to, if we didn't entertain them people behind the ball, behind the field,
Yeah.
who would we be at the end of the day? And that's what excites football.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was exciting football. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
it's like I find it very hard to watch rugby league these days. It's
You're
too
not.
boring.
I'm the same, man.
Too
Like
boring.
sometimes it's a bit boring, but
And we play. We're going to end up like NFL playing 3 hours. You know what I mean? We're doing a
yeah,
video ref. Why
yeah,
do we have refs? Why do we have refs? You know what I mean? They don't make a call.
yeah. Well,
So
I've got
what are
an
we?
NRL ref coming on in the next couple of weeks. That used to be in the NRL. Tony Delasieris. I'm not quite sure how to say his surname yet, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll get there. So he's coming on the podcast, and I can't wait to have a chat to him about those nuances of the game now, like with all the different referees and the bunker and all of
It's
that.
like it's a little bit sad. Like back in the day, a ref used to just make a decision. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Just make
loved
a
it.
decision on the spot. But now, if I'm not going to make a decision, all right, I'll look at the side, the bloke on the sideline. I don't even know what he is holding the flag up. He does nothing. You know what I mean? So like he's just getting a
Yeah.
paycheck. That's what I see.
Yeah. It's
You know
because
what I
we're
mean?
too
But
scared to make a wrong decision now. That's where the
mate,
game's got to. I used to wear the bad decisions and you just go with it. Yeah.
mate, it's what it is. It's what it is in rugby league. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
saddens me. Actually, it saddens me. Why do we have a ref today? You know what I mean? We got six. We got actually six refs. The video refs. We're coming back. We're coming back to the video refs. If we're going to do this, we might as well just do a line. Just draw a line like the NFL blokes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And stand behind that. Like that's where the game's coming to. Like I'll
Yeah.
tell it
I
how
hear
it
you,
is.
mate. I
I
hear
would
you.
tell it how it is. You know what I mean? Like the game, they reckon they're going to like they're trying to speed up the game. How are they going to speed up the game? Get rid of the video refs.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask you a bit about that later, about the differences in the game now. But seeing as we're talking about it, how do you think you would have gone now with like the 6 again rule and like, the 10 meters offside and all that stuff? Like, do you think you would have gone even better?
Look, to be honest, like I was playing 10 meters back then. You know what I mean? But it's just they really slow the game up these days. You know what I mean? They really slow it up. Like
Yeah.
like back in our days, it was tough. It was a whole lot tougher. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like we were allowed to put a punch in or here or there, or poke somebody in the eye, or someone grab someone on the old goo guards, I call them,
Yeah.
or something like that. Like it was a whole lot tougher. But these guys get a slap on the face. You know what I mean? They get up and
Stay
I'm
down.
crying. You know what I mean?
I
Like
know.
yeah, and
Um,
and like with these blocker plays, like these guys run into guys.
Yeah. Hang on, we've lost your audio. We've lost your audio. Hang on.
Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yep.
Believe it or not, that was Nathan Blacklock trying to ring me.
Unreal. I'm going to leave that in then.
Yeah, that was Nathan Blacklock trying to ring me. So leave that in there.
Send me details just quietly. I'd love to chat to him.
yeah. I will. Yeah. So what I was talking about is just like they're just not tough enough these days. Like everyone takes a cheap way out to get a penalty. You know what I mean? It's just the blockers and everyone like please, like they start to run into people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They start to run into people and they take a dive. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
like I find it like if I actually ran into a people, I go, oh right, no, that's a fair call. You know what I mean? Like I did run into him, but they get up and want to win a game like that.
Yeah, I know, man.
Please.
I like how in your day, everyone made at least an attempt to play the ball, right? They get up, they play the ball. Sometimes it looked a bit sloppy, but you at least gave it a crack. But now it's down to those tiny details that now will slow the game up because, oh, he didn't quite put his foot on the ball or he didn't, it might have, you know what I mean? And it just, that can be quite frustrating as a fan these days.
Oh, it is, Dave, because, well, it comes back to the referees, I think. Actually, referees and the blokes who made the rules. You know what I mean? Like a few years ago, they were talking about if you don't put your foot on the ball, you know what I mean? Like if you don't put your foot on the ball, like now they just roll it under. It's like touch football.
Yeah.
It is really like touch football, but like they really need to clean that. I think just a little few details of structures and running the blockers and out the back, and if someone gets a slap in the face, like please, like back in our days, we got a punch in the head. We got a punch in the headbutt. You know what I mean? Like, I think of now they like what I find it today's they're just big, like bigger and raw, but they got no talent.
Okay.
They
Not
really
like
haven't
the old days.
haven't got raw talent.
Yeah.
There's no raw talent. Like I look at it and go, really? Like I love my Roosters. Like everyone is saying is about Teddy's the best fullback in the world, but he can't pass. So how is he the best fullback in the world?
It's a good question. I like Latrell Mitchell at fullback in his Roosters days.
Latrell, yeah, and Latrell's a big baby. You know what I mean? Latrell's a big baby. He needs to go home to see country and someone slap him around a bit, take him out, Bush, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's slowly forgetting his identity and who he is, you know what I mean? Like he's got all these people out here, he's got all these Indigenous people that look up to him, and he carries on like this, you know what I mean? Like just because he's got a great manager, Matty Rose, like Matty Rose never made it in his life, so that's how I look at it. So, but he should be his own self. He's got to go back to country and start looking out for his people.
Right. So you said you love your Roosters. Yeah, you signed with the Roosters in 1995. You walk into the club, there's the likes of Terry Hermanson's arrived. You got Jason Lowry, Adrian Lamb, Sean Garlick, Ivan Cleary, all these guns. What was that like, man? Walking into this awesome team.
I'll tell you a little story about that, like how I actually got to the Roosters. Well,
please do.
I sort of I wanted to go home for my fourth year at the Dragons.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't really liking it. I wasn't playing first grade. You know what I mean? I wasn't even getting. I ended up playing 23s sometimes. You know what I mean? I said, well, I'm here for a reason. Brian Smith. I'm here for a reason to play first grade. Like this is what I want. So I ended up going home.
Yeah.
And no, I didn't. And I didn't. I said, look, I don't want my last contract of it. My last year of the contract. So I went home. So next minute, I'm sitting in my room down in Bromwich, and Mum comes in my room, knocks on the door, and goes, "Son, Arthur Beaton's out your door." Arthur Beaton. And I've gone, Mum, stop G me up.
I know.
and she's giving me that look. Get out the fucking door now. That's Arthur Beaton. So I went, oh shit. And I walked out. Next minute, Big Beato's there.
No way.
John, mate, I want you to come and play with the Sharks.
The Sharks? I went,
yeah, because he was at the Sharks.
Really?
He goes, Dragons don't want you. I want you. So next minute, I've gone. I looked at Mum and I went, Mum, I look like I'm going to be a Sharky. You know what I mean? I look like I'm going to be a Sharky. So St. George got wind of it. St. George got wind of it and went, sorry, you're not going there. You're going to have to play it your last year.
Oh, no.
Wow, fair dinkum. Like, are you fair dinkum? You know what I mean? And next minute, I'm finishing up my last year. Next minute, there was a swap over. There was actually Gus. Gus found out. You know what I mean? All right, can we take Andrew Walker and we'll do a player swap?
Okay.
With Jeff Walford.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Jeff Walford was on the wing.
Right.
And so that's how that come. That's how that come. So it was a swap straight over. Like, we'll take Jeff Walford, you take Walker, and Gus is going, wow, how good's this, Jeff Walford? Good. You go over there and play St. George on the wing and sit wherever and, enjoy your last couple of years and get a paycheck. And we got this young kid that's raw and ready to rock and roll.
And exciting. So you're a very exciting player.
Went over in 95, and we didn't have the likes of Brad Fittler or anyone like that. We just, we were just starting to get him, because we got Brad Fittler in 96 and Matty Singh and I think it was Ivan and a few other guys. So myself, Lammy, Luke Ricketson, Nigel Gaffey, Big T, Tony Iro, like we started to play a little bit of footy, started to lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And Gus just went, well, if we got these guys, I think I'm going to put these other guys in, Brad Fittler and Matty Singh and Ivan Cleary's, you know what I mean? He brought them in, and that's when it started to really get excited.
You guys were unbelievable.
And big Herbie and Jace, you know what I mean, up front, just doing some damage.
Yeah, man.
And that's what I loved about it. Like, if it wasn't for them doing the damage up front, you know what I mean? Like, and getting us over, and Shawnee Garlic doing 1,000 tackles, you know what I mean? So Tony Iro, we had Nigel Gaffey, and we had Brendan Hall as well, like, sort of coming out of his career. But we had different, just different players just wanted to play footy, I think it was. Yeah.
Pretty cool playing behind the Kiwi front row, right? Jason Lowry, Jerry Henderson, like, wow.
Two toughest footballers I always loved, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I've always, they always been mates of mine, always till the day I die, because they were the blokes that really took a little bit of interest in me while I was there, because I think it was that cultural barrier. I think we had the same cultural barrier. Yeah. That's why we sort of stuck. We stuck pretty thick together.
Yeah, that's so cool. So you said Gus Gould, he got you to the club, and he became the coach in 95 or 96.
Yeah, 95 he come,
He did come 95.
And he started bringing them in, the other players in 96,
Yep. So what was he like for you personally as a player and for the team as a whole? Did he improve you guys and you improved as a player?
To be honest, Gus was a great bloke. He taught me a lot about, professionalism in league, and he taught me life skills. He taught me life skills. He took me under the wing because I was only young. I didn't have no family whatsoever. Had a wife, I got married at 20, and I had a wife by then. You know what I mean? And my career started to really excel with Gus on board. You know what I mean? Just teaching me what to do, when to do it, how to do it. So that's why I love Gus so much, because he actually took his time out. He took his time out to help me. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a genuine great heart.
Yeah.
And also, he knew I was a player.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He said you're very raw, because, to be honest, Herbie would probably tell you, and Jace, like, everyone else would have structures, but he'd go to me, Andrew, you just go and play football, mate.
Do your thing.
You just go and play football and enjoy it.
That's so cool.
I'd be in the background just listening in on how the game plan was played today, and Andrew, you just go and enjoy. Like, there's no structure whatsoever. He said, you just go and play football. You're a footballer.
Amazing. So this is the perfect time to ask a fan question. I put it out there on the Facebook group that you're coming on the show. Tommy Inosa wants to know, what is your best Gus Gould story?
Well, there's a few of them, but my best story, my ever best story was, we went to his house, actually. We went to his house for dinner, and that's where he really sat me down and said, look, what do you really want out of rugby league?
Yep.
What do you really want? And I said, to be honest, Gus, I want to play for Australia. I really want to play for Australia. I really want to represent Australia.
Yep.
And he goes, well, Andrew, you really have to put in the hard work. You have to really be dedicated. And this is it. This is how you're going to get there. And this, and 96 come around, 96. And
Yep.
it was a build up to how he got me there. And 96 was my great year because I played for the Kangaroos that year. And I played for, well, I played, actually, he gave me a crack in the city and country.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. And that's how he, how it was for him. Like he goes, you were such raw talent, but if you can do this and do that and show up on time and show up, he just showed me the really professionalism of football and how to get there. Because he goes, son, if you can do that for me, I will give you a chance. And I took it on board.
Oh, seeing as we're talking about the Kangaroo selection, so you did get picked to go to Papua New Guinea with Australia. Yep. You guys gave him a bit of a hiding too, I might add. But what was it like for a start, hearing your name called out for Australia? Where were you? How did you find out? Like, talk us through that.
It's a funny story, actually.
Oh, I want to hear it. No.
Yeah, it's actually we sort of got beat. You know what I mean? Like the finals and everything else. Like we got beat in the finals. Is got to nearly go into the big one, and I'm sitting down with a couple of brothers of mine, you know what I mean? Just having a few beers.
Yeah.
And I don't watch TV enough. And everyone said, you got selected. And I'm going, wake up, you idiots. You know what I mean? They got Timmy Brasher and everything else. You know, wake up. I'm just sitting back. And next minute, knock on the door. Gus.
Yeah.
Gus and me manager.
Wow.
And they're going, Walks. You're supposed to be at Coogee. No, what bloody for? And next minute they're going, you made the Kangaroos, my boy. And I went, what? And I said, stop pissing in the pocket, Gus. You know, goes, that's why I'm here. And I looked at Wayne Beavers. I said, Wayne, is this correct?
Yeah.
Like, yes, my boy. You put the hard work in this year, you got rewarded.
Oh, wow.
And I started tearing up. I really started tearing up because
so you should.
That's all I've wanted to do, you know, just represented in rugby league, and that's all I wanted to become, you know, a footballer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I looked at Mum, and she just broke down and started crying, and then we were both crying, you know what I mean? She's going, get in your room and go and get your bloody gear and go to Coogee. So next minute, myself, and so they drove me over to Coogee and dropped me off, and that's how that was. And and I got the likes of, you know, there was me and Matty Singh. There was two Indigenous blokes in there, and that was even sweeter.
That is so awesome.
Having my best mate there.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when a lifelong dream like comes true, where you reach the top of that mountain and you're like, I did it. You know, for me, I finally ran a sub 4 hour marathon last year, and I did it with a bung ankle as well. But I finally got there. It's taken me 7 years, but I got there. And I was just like, yeah, I like cried. It was amazing.
Well, Dave, I'm leading up to that. I've done 7Ks this morning. Nice. Yeah, so I've done 7Ks this morning. So my next one will be probably 10Ks. So nice. I'm gonna lead up to probably City to Surf.
Oh, wicked.
And it's just another stimulant. That's what I want. That's what I want in my life. Just another stimulant, you know what I mean? So and I want to keep fit, and I want to be a strong leader for our community.
Oh, as you should. I think that's amazing. So you did go to Papua New Guinea. What was it like in Papua New Guinea? Like, it's a pretty out the gate country, man. Like, come on, give me some stories. What happened?
Back in '96, actually, like there was back then that was a pretty rough time. You know what I mean? Like it was quite funny. Like we ended up training all the way. You know, like training for that week over there in bloody ridiculous heat. Humidity was, oh wow. You know what I mean? But the lead up was a great lead up. Like we're all on this charter boat fishing, you know what I mean? And we had the big chief up the top with the captain, you know what I mean? Like he is, you know what I mean? And we're all down the bottom. We're all, you know, on the SPs they call them, you know what I mean? We're all on the beers.
Yep.
Next minute, we're all throwing each other in the water and carrying on, you know what I mean? Like it's a bit of a joke, you know what I mean? It's like, just to let her hair down, I suppose, you know, let her hair down. And next minute, Spud Carroll dives in the water, and next minute, Brash picks up a bit of ice and actually slings it and gets you in the thing, gets you in the forehead. So next minute, I'm going to get you, rah, 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 start swimming on it. And me and Matty Singh going, wow, look at these two idiots, you know what I mean? We're just sitting back laughing there.
That's awesome.
Next minute, they're nearly into it. Next minute, Terry Hill grabs a fire extinguisher and just I'll break this up. Like he just squirts everyone, and we're all diving off this boat. Next minute, it was hilarious. It was quite hilarious. Like, but it was a good. That was a good team bonding thing. You know what I mean? We'll come together but leading up to the game, going to the game, actually, like they just want to touch you, they just want to grab you and everything. So they just want to they don't see it. You know, they love the rugby league over, but they don't get to see Australian players. So they just want to touch it. And this bloke's just got this big stick just wailing his kids, like, get away from him. So I had to sort of jump in and, like, he was really belting into him. Like, hey, mate, you pull your head in a bit, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, I know, like, they just want to grab you and everything. After the game, like, we walked out and they want something of you, you know what I mean? So I ended up taking the socks, shorts, and, you know, I kept my jumper. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I said, well, if I give this away, I'll probably never see another one in my life. So I ended up giving this kid, like, you know, some socks, you know what I mean? And he's just standing there and going, wow, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just wow, you know what I mean? Just absolutely wow. And next minute, this bloke's coming over trying to crack him again. And mate, please put that stick away before I put it over your head, you know what I mean? Like, this kid's just in awe of footballers. Like, and that was, so they're just passionate about that. And if it wasn't for them people, I'd just say, who would we be?
Yeah. What was like the stadium, the field was like? What's the pitch like? What was there like? Security, like
it was the hardest field ever. Like, they didn't even water it down. Like, they didn't water it down for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, they wanted us to play on concrete. There was water in there. Like, the lead up to the game, like, oh, really? Like, the actual lead up, Nathan Blacklock again, mind you, Dave.
Call me, Nathan. Call me.
yeah, I know. And actually lead up to the game, like, there was no one around. No, like, we're warming up, and there's probably a couple of hundred people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, gee, we come all the way over here just for 100 people. You know what I mean? Like the warm up. Like, we're out there warming up. Next minute, it was about 10 minutes before the game. I've walked out, and next minute they're up in the trees. They come from everywhere. Like, just, I went, wow. And they're in the trees, they're on the roofs. And I just went, wow, how good's this? Like, wow, they just come from out of this, you know, out of this village, out of this jungle, whatever. And they just love their football.
They do.
You know, they love their football over there. And I'm really hoping the NRL help them out, come, you know, get a team in, because I tell you what, that's, you know, if we had,
incredible.
Well, Adrian Lambs, I think he's got a little bit over there.
Yep.
So if we had a good coach going over there teaching the fundamentals of football and teach them, you know, the lifestyle of it, I think they'll be dangerous. You know what I mean? So, but they just come out of the woodwork, say, and I went, wow, how good's this? You know what I mean? How fantastic is this?
Oh, wow. So speaking of Adrian Lamb, he kicked an amazing field goal in the 1997 playoff series against North Sydney, if you recall. You guys were hammer and tong the whole match. I think they were ahead by a point. Then Adrian Lamb fakes to pass from dummy half with no time left. It kicks it from dummy half, and you tie the match and go extra time.
Well, the thing was,
wow, what a game!
That big setup. It was sort of, we got to get close to the post to get Walks to kick this field goal.
Yeah.
Next minute, we're all passing. We're playing like touch footy. They're going. They're trying to set it up. We're actually trying to set it up. Next minute, I think I ended up playing the ball.
Oh, right.
And Lammy, I ended up playing the ball because I got tackled with it, and they're going. And next minute, Lammy's going, shit, Walks. Shit. He went, shit, Walks, you're playing the ball. I'm looking for you. I said, Lammy, I'm going to step to the right because they're going to charge you out left and right.
Yeah. And
I said, you got to take. I said, Lammy, you actually got to kick the field goal from dummy half.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? He goes, well, I said, look, I'm going to take I'm going to take the markers. I'm going to take sort of one marker to the right, and almost going to sprint out because Freddie was on the left because they thought Freddie was going to kick it, and it just opened up. And I said, Lammy, there's your chance. There's the Red Sea, opening up.
Yeah.
So, and he's kicked it ugly, and he's gone, oh, and he's gone, yes.
Like I remember that. Yes.
Beauty. And I said, you've never kicked a field goal. You never kicked a better field goal in your life. You trained all week for that. But, it went over. So
that was an epic game. Like, epic. You and North Sydney had another epic match that year as well. It came down to the wire, and Jason Taylor got the winning field goal. And Terry Hermanson, he got sent off, if you recall.
Yes, I do recall, because Herbie likes swinging that big left arm, I think it is. He loves swinging, and that's why he breaks it all the time. You know what I mean? I love him, but there was times there we needed him on the field. You know what I mean? We needed him on the field, but that's his game, aggressive. You know what I mean? So, but that game actually, we played them twice.
Crazy, that game.
It was the last game. It was the last game of the comp.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Lammy, I think it was, kicked that field goal.
Right.
Actually, and then we played them the week after in the first semi.
Okay.
Yeah, so that game was the first epic game was the last game of the comp. It's the last game of the comp, and that's where Lammy plotted that field goal to get us home. But it didn't really matter in the end. You know what I mean? What the outcome was, because we were playing them the next week. We found out. So
and you beat them.
Yeah, we ended up winning in extra time, and we always had their measure. During the year, but they really got off to a great start. A really great start, I think it was. I think it was 16-something or something. Then.
Yeah. You guys had to really claw it back.
Yeah, we was actually rattled. We was actually rattled, like, and they're looking at someone. They're looking at someone to get them out of jail. And I said, well, Freddie, give me the ball. Just give me the ball. Just give it to me. Yeah. So I ended up scoring 2 tries, just getting us back into the game. And next minute we end up coming home, just blowing them away.
Yeah, amazing.
Because I said to him, look, if we want to win the game, like, no one's standing up, just pass the ball here. Just give it to me. Give it to me. You know what I mean? Just hit me. And next minute, bang from the I think it was Freddie hit me on a good line, and I ran straight and just ran over, scored. And the second one was from a scrum, where I said, and I had Nigel Roy. Yeah. And I went, oh, please, Nigel Roy, who's he? You know what I mean? So I said, yeah, here, take this, my boy. Yeah, I'm scoring this try. And that's how we got back. So yeah.
Yeah. Was it like playing with the likes, like obviously Brad Fittler, but like John Simon? He's another player I just love to watch growing up.
Like we had a great team of great players, but it was just a bit hard for Gus how to fit them all in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At times in the game, and I call him Jack. You know, Jack Simons. You know.
Right. Yep.
We're Jack, a great player. You know what I mean? Like he had the brain. Like, and he was always an Illawarra boy. You know what I mean? He was down home. You know what I mean? And I was so glad that he come up because Lammy sort of was he was injured a few times. You know what I mean? I think Gus brought him in because but I think Jack broke his foot the year before that, and he never really recovered. So, and that's why he was a good player. Like a great player, but it's just how Gus was sort of trying to fit us all into that team.
Yeah, because I noticed when I did a bit of research for this podcast, I noticed you got moved around quite a bit during that season. You're playing, sometimes you're playing fullback, sometimes you come off the bench. Like, what was your favourite position?
Well, to be honest, like, I really loved fullback. You know what I mean? Because I saw a lot of space.
Yep.
I saw a lot of space, and I saw where I can put guys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying nothing against Ivan. Ivan was a great fullback, but he was just a little bit slow to get to the ball. And I'm thinking, Ivan, get there, you know. Get there, you know. Get us out of here. You know
well, only one of the greatest coaches ever. Yeah.
Well, he's learned his trade. You know what I mean? Like, but I'll tell you what, if I had cattle like that too, I'd be a great coach too. You know.
I reckon you would.
Yeah.
So,
but I was doing really well. Like, and I think it's going to be hard. Like, I reckon it's not going to be hard. Like this year, I reckon they can go for 4 this year.
I totally agree with you. I just don't think like they've lost enough to lose their momentum. Like they've only lost a couple of players, Crichton and Spencer Leniu of note, and then they've bought quite well. So I think why not? You know, why not?
Look, they got the same structure. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what's going to be different? It's just Crichton's he's got that X factor. He's always had that X factor.
Yep.
But I'm pretty sure like they've got a triple X factor with the halfback. You know what I mean? Like he's
We've got
one of the
Kalen
best
May
players
coming back from his ACL, and he's a beast. You know.
Oh, he is, but I think, yeah, I know, I love him. I love him playing, but I think they're getting too big. You know what I mean? They're getting too big.
Yeah. Right.
They haven't got the the skills like they used to have. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's all about size these days.
Yeah. So I'll rewind the clock a little bit. Super League. Where were you? How did you stay in the ARL? Like, did you get approached by Super League? I want to hear your position during the whole Super League war. This is my favorite question for players because there's always a different story for everybody. So I want to know how it worked for you.
Well, how it worked for us, right? Peter Jorgo was my best mate. Jorgo found out about this, Super League thing. I wasn't too much interested, you know what I mean? I was just happy just to play footy at the end of the day. And Jorgo's come up and big T, Tony Iro.
Yeah.
They come to me and said, Walks, you can get this kind of money, rah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I went, look, money's not everything to me. Money's not everything to me. Like, what it is for me, it is just playing consistent footy. You know what I mean? And playing first grade. That's all I wanted, just to play first grade.
Yep.
Well, I got approached. I got approached by the Rams. Big Tone. Yeah, I got approached by the Rams. And I went, look, to be honest, I love the money, but at the end of the day, I just want to play football. Yeah. So Gus come to me and goes, Walks, I want you to stay with the ARL. And I said, Gus, I want to stay here because you gave me my opportunity of first grade, and the ARL come at me with a check of $100,000. Nice. So I said no, thank you, and I said, look, it's not. I could have went to Super League and got this.
Yeah.
I mean, they offered me $200,000.
Oh wow.
And I said, well, money's not all. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, money's not going to make me happy. Yeah. So all I wanted to do was just play first grade, and I was established, and I had good mates there, like at the Roosters. So that's why I ended up staying.
I mean, for $100K less, you're actually playing semi-final football. If you went to the Rams, they didn't do well. They were terrible.
Yeah, I know. Like,
terrible.
Well, I had the likes of T Iro, Graham Mappo, and Nolly Goldfall. Yeah. They was the guys trying to get me over. You know what I mean? And I actually nearly went to the Western Reds.
Really?
Oh. Yeah, because we had Peter Mulholland come to Sydney.
Yeah.
Then we had Brad Mackay. And Brad Mackay was my bloody idol. Like, I love Brad Mackay.
He was back in your Dragon stage,
I ended up living with Brad Mackay when I was up there.
Yeah.
And him and his wife, God bless her. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. So
that was the likes of I was living there. Like I wanted to go there, but I went, look, to be honest, like traveling from Perth, I'd only see my family every second week because they didn't want to go to Perth. They wanted to stay here.
Yeah.
So, in Sydney, and I said, look, to be honest, it's not my scenery, sort of like living out of a suitcase, coming back home, living out of a suitcase.
Yeah, fair enough.
I said, you're not going to get the best out of me, Brad. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to get the best of me. I'd rather be established and, with good mates, playing great footy at the same time.
Well, you had a genuine chance to win a premiership with that side. Like, you guys were good. Like, you had such good players in pretty much every position. Like, it's like you said, it was hard to fit everybody in because you just had so much talent.
It was that club. I loved it because Gus brought so many great players in, but I was thinking, well, this is going to really, really find out where you're at, Gus, if you're a good coach or not. You know what I mean? Like, he's had so much great talent. It was just the thing for us. I found we all sort of chopped and changed.
Yeah.
We sort of, like myself, I did anyway, and I didn't really found my feet. You know what I mean? Like if I stuck at one position, I would have found my feet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I sort of come to training going, well, who's injured, who's not, you know what I mean? And then I'm figuring out, oh, this is who John's going to be here, I'm going to be here, you know what I mean? Like mixing. Yeah, so Ivan sort of come from fullback to centre, you know what I mean? And we all sort of got mixed around that year.
Yeah.
That was a big thing for me, you know what I mean? I found differently. Yeah.
Okay.
Found
Okay,
it hard to win a premiership, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite hard. I mean, you need a little bit of luck as well. You just need things to go your way on the day, as well as playing almost in a, got one of your best games of football as a side.
Yeah, because I actually left in 2000 because Gus said to me, he said, look, Walks, I'm not going to be here. He actually come to me and goes, Walks, what do you really want to do? And I said, look, to be honest, look, who's going to be coach? I found out Graham Murray was coming in.
Yep.
And I just thought, look, I'm not going to really learn anything from Graham Murray.
Okay.
Like personally, like that's just personally. Like I knew I wasn't going to learn anything, but they made the grand final that year. They had a really good stellar year.
Yeah.
And Luke Phillips, I think it was. They call him Diamond Phillips.
Yep.
Like he played fullback.
He did.
And actually, I got a phone call from Freddie going, mate, you should be here with us that year. And I said, look, really? Freddie, everything was supposed to meant to be, but it wasn't. You know what I mean? Because I said, look, I really couldn't be coached under a different coach because I was too much with Gus. You know what I mean? Like he taught me everything. I'm very loyal to people like that. You know what I mean? And that year, Diamond Phillips had he had a Clive Churchill medal in a losing team.
Yeah, they lost a narrow one to the Broncos, eh?
Yeah. And I'm thinking, shit, that's all I wanted to do, just playing one grand final, just to see the atmosphere and the lead up to the week. And I never got to do it, but I went down to the Brumbies and I played with the likes of Joe Rolfe, you know what I mean, George Gregan, Steve Larkham, you know what I mean, Owen Finnegan, and we had 10 Wallabies. But I never looked back, you know what I mean. But the thing was, it was a fantastic career what I had.
Yeah. So let's talk about your move to rugby union. You went to the Brumbies, as you said. So obviously that was the change, like with Gus moving on. But why the ACT Brumbies? How did you end up there?
Well, a little man that just ruined Australian rugby, Eddie Jones.
Yeah.
He was there. He was
right. Okay.
He actually rung me. He goes, Walks, would you come down to us?
Yeah.
Wayne Beaver said, look, I think you're going to be suited here with Eddie. So, because I knew Eddie personally, you know what I mean? So I knew Eddie personally. So I said, yep, why not? Let's give it a go. Get me out of Sydney because, you know what I mean? Living in Sydney, like it can bring a person down.
Yeah.
Like, so he got me out of Sydney. So I moved down, played at the Brumbies. And you know what I mean? He took me under his feather, under his feather and looked after me down there. And I loved it down there playing rugby.
Yeah.
Because back then we had 10 players as Wallabies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Pretty good, man.
That's why we were dominant back then. You know what I mean? We were really dominant. Yeah.
I mean, in your first season with the ACT Brumbies, you got the try-scoring record. You scored 2 hat-tricks. You made the Wallabies. I mean, that's a pretty amazing season. And I think you guys were runner-up that year. And then the following year, you won the competition. Yeah. So you got your grand final.
So I got my grand final. I did.
You did.
But like, it was a great year that year. You know what I mean? And Crusaders were the pinnacles.
They still are.
They were the pinnacles. But they had the likes of Todd Blackadder, you know what I mean? And Caleb Brown, Justin Marshall, like, and it was a really good test to play against them every time because they were the pinnacles. You know what I mean? Yep. It brought the best out of me because I didn't really take rugby that serious. You know what I mean? Like they're going, the Crusaders, and I just said, who's the Crusaders? You know what I mean? I said, who's the Crusaders? So And next minute, then I found out who was the Crusaders. We played them every year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were the Pinnacles.
Right.
And mate, they brought the best out of me, the Crusaders, actually. Like because they had the, you know, they were the team. They were the team to beat as a franchise. We lost by 1 point. You know what I mean? We lost by 1 point in our first year.
Yeah.
1920, they got us, and absolutely snowed that year. So I put it on the snow. They were used to it. We weren't.
It's pretty cold here in Christchurch. It's where I live, so
Yeah.
pretty cold, you know, at times.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So that second year, we got our grand final against the Sharks.
Sharks have always been a pretty strong Super Rugby team though over the years. They've generally been there or thereabouts. You know, yeah, pretty strong side. You know, there's one player, another former league player, Peter Ryan, played with you there at the Brumbies. What was it like playing with him? And he wants to know, was he the best roomie you ever had?
No, I only roomed with him once.
Yeah.
You know why I room with him? He's a dirty man with his clothes. He puts his clothes everywhere. You know what I mean? Walks in, thinks he's on a holiday all the time. So that's why I never ever. I said, please do not let me room with him, because back in my day, I've never had all them good things. So that's why I wanted to look after what I had.
Right, fair enough.
Quality stuff. But he was always on a holiday because he lived the highlight of up here in Brisbane, living everything and had everything on a platter, probably. But no, but Rhino was a good man. Like he's a brother of mine.
Yeah,
he'll always be a brother of mine because he really took interest in me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And going to a rugby league, you know, well, coming from rugby league into a rugby union, the leagues stick together. It was sort of like the union blokes stick to their guys.
so I thought might happen. Yeah.
Because with the union, with the union, actually, we had a circle. We had actually circle, like, and everyone's going, where you come from, where you come, and all the union guys going, oh, we went to these schools, all these other different schools.
Yeah.
So me and Rhino got the me and Rhino. Next minute we got Bombay Primary School, you know what I mean? And Rhino's going lately high school, and I've gone, oh shit, and, you know, we're looking at each other going, really?
Yeah.
So that's how we were sort of stood out a little bit, you know what I mean? Because we wanted to be, you know, just, you know, they had a bit of an ego problem, but we just wanted to show them how to play football, you know, and have that toughness, I think.
All right. So he said he passed on a message to me because he's actually on the Facebook group, the Point of Difference Rugby League group. And he said to pass it on to you that you're one of the best players he ever played with or against. And that's pretty cool, man. Yeah.
Look, with Rhino, like he was a great defender. That's why I said, Rhino, get outside me. You're doing all my tackling. You know what I mean? So,
cheers, man.
like, I really got to know Rhino pretty personally down at the Brumbies. You know what I mean? Like me and him really connected, and we really got connected with our families. Really,
that's nice.
You know what I mean? And that's how tight we were, and that's why I love him till this day. You know, until my eyes shut, because he took his time out to get to know me as a person, and not just as a footballer. He got to know me as a person. So we really got to know each other's families. You know what I mean? Like everyone's got their little cliques, you know what I mean? But me and Rhino, we had ours at the Brumbies. And that's why I love him so much.
That's awesome, man. So I'm a Kiwi, so I have to ask, did you play against the All Blacks? And what was it like if you did?
Mate, the All Blacks were the Pinnacles. You know what I mean? Back then. Well, Australian and All Blacks always had that really great rivalry. Like the big thing for me, I played in a Birthday Cup. I was only on the bench.
Yeah.
And in front of 110,000 people.
Wow, that's huge.
110,000 people. You'll never ever see that again. And Jonah in the Arca, he kept looking at me, and I went, why are you looking at me for? Why are you looking at me? You know what I mean? He was just trying to do the intimidating thing, you know what I mean? But that's great because it's a war. You know what I mean? We actually go on the war. Actually, we go on the war. It's a cultural war. You know what I mean? And I looked at it. I embraced the challenge. You know what I mean? But after that, Jonah came up to me and goes, Walker, I love you, man, and I respected him. You know what I mean? from that, he was always going to be my mate from there.
Yeah.
Because me and him always had that rivalry because we always spurred each other on. And me and Roger Randall always spurred
Roger.
like he's my mate too, me and Rog. You know what I mean? Like that was a big lead up when we played together. Like, you know, Roger be into me and I'd be into him, and I'd go, Rog, they're telling me you're the fastest bloke ever in rugby union. Bring that shit on, you know, bring it on. You know what I mean? And that's why I gave him that a bit of a space. I said, show me something. I had a broken hamstring. And I went, yeah, Roger, yeah, right, there. And next one I get up, tackle him. He throws the ball, and Robbie picks it up, and I trail Robbie and score. And it was just that, you know, they brought the best out of you. You know what I mean? And in that game, not that game, there was the Burslow Cup game. Jonah, I give him bloody 10 metres head start, and I went, never ever again. And he's going, Andrew, you never ever do that to me. And I went, I know. So the next minute, so I got up on him the next time, and he passed, and well, I got up on the centre. I think it was Ralph. I think it was Caleb Ralph. I went and tackled him. Yeah. And he passes on Jonah, and bloody, well, Jason Little come in and thought I couldn't tackle. You know what I mean? I was scared on Jonah. I think he was just scared. He didn't want to tackle Jonah on his own. That's how they ended up. So that's how they ended up winning it. So, but that was a great game. And great challenge too. You know, between the two clubs, Dave.
Yeah. So, what's the chat like as a Wallaby during the week or the build up to a game against the All Blacks? Like, is it you guys planning to beat them, or are you trying to adapt to their game? Like, how the hell do you take on the All Blacks? What's the chat?
Well, the chat was like, we got to worry about our game. You know what I mean? Like, not worry about what they do on the field, because they're going to do it anyways. You know what I mean? They're going to do it anyway. It's just, we had their game plan. We actually had their game plan, but it's just, how do we stop that? You know what I mean? We just got to make, well, it was mainly sort of the one-on-one tackles. You know what I mean? They had some big bodies. They had some big bodies, big frames. But what they did have, they had a little bit of the insight of the game. You know what I mean? Like they knew us before we knew them. I think, because their coaching staff was, mate, their top level, their coaching staff. You know what I mean? Like, just gave them that individuals. You know what I mean? Like I said to us, we were a great team, but they were always waiting on someone to do something, like a Stephen Larkham or a Gregan or you know what I mean, or Chris Latham or Sterling Mortlock to do something.
Mortlock, he was a phenomenal player.
Yeah. Like if it wasn't for Snorky going forward, I call him, you know, that's Stello. Like I call him, if Snorky didn't go forward for us over the vantage line, like that was our big thing. If we didn't go to the vantage line, we weren't going forward. So that's when Tana and someone else said, no, if he gets over the vantage line, that's where they're getting forward. And that's when Tana went, no, I'm not letting you get this, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's how you read players. And that's why they are good players, because they know how to read people.
Right. Amazing. Right. So I've got a fan question here from Mike Harrison. Shout out to you, Mike. You're a good chap. Which former teammates of yours would you think would be the best cross-code players?
In rugby league, I think it would be Matty Singh.
Oh wow, he got some toe, that boy.
Yeah, Matty Singh would have been a good primary from league to union, and from union to league, George, without a doubt, George Smith. Believe it or not, Georgie Smith was a rugby leaguer before he switched over.
Oh really?
Yeah, because he was an Narrabeen. He played with Narrabeen rugby league all his life. So
what position did he play in league?
Look, I think he was in the backs, because he was too small to go then.
Right.
Yeah. So Georgie Smith would have been the one, and Matty Singh.
There you go, Mike Harrison. I hope you enjoyed those answers. So you played 3 years in rugby union before you made the switch back to rugby league with the Manly Seagulls. So why'd you make the comeback to rugby league?
Well, I sort of fell out of favour down there. Different coaches, you know what I mean? Different coaches, they got different methods, and they didn't think this whole thing can cope with them, with these young players, you know what I mean? So, but everyone's got the different different methods and different plans, what they're going to lead forward. And I was with David Nisifora, you know what I mean? Like he sort of fell out of favour with me, so I went back to league, and I got an opportunity to play with Manly, and in 04, and I come back and we were playing the likes like that was a rebuilding stage of Manly.
It was.
And that was after the Northern Eagles, I think it was.
Yeah, that was a terrible mess. That was not good.
Yeah. But what it was, you know, they try to amalgamate it. You know, you can't do that when you got a strong club like North Sydney. You know what I mean? North Sydney, you know, and try to in the Central Coast try to put that in the Central Coast, but their home game was at, you know, Manly. Well, their home ground was Manly. So, but Desi was a great coach. You know what I mean? Like that's when Desi started to get players back in. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I was sort of like started at. You know what I mean? But other things went pear-shaped for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking? Like, you don't have to answer this. Like, what happened at the end of your time at Manly as to why you retired?
Oh well, things happen for a reason. You know what I mean? Like I thought I can cheat the system. You know what I mean? Cheat the system. I never ever was a cocaine player, cocaine taker, but I took it on the last game. Try to cheat the systems, like everyone tries to cheat the system, but actually the system got me, and I'm glad it happened like that because if it didn't happen, I wouldn't probably have all these things in my life standard, you know, from now. You know what I mean? Like it puts values and strengths into me, and it found out who I was and found out who my friends was in the end.
Yeah, true.
You know, and it makes me a better character.
Yeah.
Like, and I can talk about that because I'm a Christian person. I've been a Christian person for a long while, and so that's why you find your true characters in life. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't find that because they think that they're this, but they're not. But like if like I said, like all the things I learned along my career, if I didn't learn from them, you're never going to be a better person for it.
Yeah. It is nice to find out who your real friends are. I've been through some hard times about 4 years ago, and you really do find out who's got your back. And
you do, Dave. You do.
And it's you find out it's actually not that many people sometimes, you know.
But it's a good thing. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the ones that do have your back is got your heart. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Loves you. And if it wasn't for my family, you know what I mean? But the thing was, like with that there, Dave, like my family actually copped it with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My family copped it with me. Like my son copped it with the kids. So he was getting expelled from school because of this. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
And back then we didn't have you know people coming in to mentor me and my family. You know what I mean? Like I said to you, like there's no like I say, there's no manual with that with parenthood.
Yep.
We just do the best we can. You know
you wing it, mate. Yeah.
we do the best we can of what we've been taught along the way, and that was that day.
Oh, you come out the other side. It looks like you're absolutely, you know, loving life, mate.
Mate, I love it. I love it till the day I die. You know, as long as I wake up breathing, I'm happy.
Yeah, man, I totally agree. So you had a bit more time in rugby union. You went to France. You had a little bit of a dabble at rugby union in France. What was it like going to France, man?
Oh, mate, that was a different kettle of fish over there. Like we went over. Actually, we went over. I went over to a place called Gaillac down the south of France, and was only playing second division. And I signed up 2 years there, and really great money, really unbelievable money. And I went, wow, why do I want to go back to Australia? You know what I mean? I want to live this lifestyle, and actually, I went over just for a holiday, to be honest. Like I was 35 years of age. I'm over there for a holiday, just looking after my family, showing them the great life of living in France. And my son ended up picking the language up in 2 months.
Right.
Like, and he's my manager, and he's on the phone talking to the manager, going, "Yeah, Dad, you need to do this, do that, righto." And I went, "Wow, my son's picking it up, my kids are picking it up. What a life, you know what I mean? What a life they've got." You know what I mean? I only went over for a holiday. Like I only went just second division. You know what I mean? and they brought some good players to come in to try to get us up. But the coach we had,
Yeah.
He was too much of he wasn't a winner. He
Right.
wasn't a winner. Like, there was times in a game we could have won the game,
Yeah.
but he was happy with the draw. Like, they're all jumping up and down just for a draw.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I'm going, what the, you know, I mean, what? We could have won the game. We could have won the game. Like he's telling me to kick, like, there's about a minute on the clock, right? A minute on the clock. And next minute I'm going, we're down at the 22, down at their own 22, and he's going, kick the goal, kick the tools, you take tools. And I'm going, no, I'm going for the line out. We're going for the line out. We're going for the win. And he's
right.
Yeah. And so he's jumping up and down, Martin Weddington, tell Walker. And I went, mate, whatever, we can kick the lot. I'm here, we can kick it 5 meters out and we can, maul and take it over and win the game.
Yeah, that's the one.
So I ended up bloody kicking the goal and we ended up drawing. He's jumping up and down and I walked off and going, really? You come? Like,
never play third division rugby ever.
But that's how it was. They were just happy to, just to get a draw. And I went, mate, we could end up with 3 points.
Was there ever a moment where you thought, I played for the Roosters in a semi-final. What the fuck am I doing here?
Well, no, I didn't, because of the money. See, I'm going, wow, how good is this? Because I was always when we weren't playing, because we didn't know we were finding out we were playing, because we'd have to go with the team early in the morning.
Yeah,
we'd have to wait till the ground thawed out.
Oh, true.
You know what I mean? To find out, to see if we're playing. So most of the games we didn't play. So next minute, I'm taking off down to Spain, down to Andorra, doing shopping with the kids and everything else. Like, we were down in south of France, and I'm going, yeah, let's go for a holiday. We were going down to Andorra, down to Spain, and we live in this lifestyle. And kids are going, wow, Dad, how good's this? We're driving everywhere. We went over and saw that the big castle over there. Like, it was a holiday thing for me. Like, I went over there to play, professional rugby. I was over there for a holiday. You know what I mean? And getting great money. That's awesome. But because the thing was, like, every Saturday morning we'd have to wait. To find out and see if we're playing or not. You know what I mean? The ground. Yeah. So I get to lunchtime. No, we're not playing today. All right. And I'm doing these ones. I'm saying, I'm going home, boys. And next minute, they're all coming together. Going, yeah, we're drinking wine. I said, you just go and drink wine. I'm going on holiday. See you guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'll see you training on Monday.
That's so good.
Yeah, so it was fantastic. Like, I loved it over there. Like, I had 2 years, and next minute, Eddie Jones rings up. Jones, and he's at the Reds.
Right, that's right. Well.
Yeah, next minute, he's gone, Walks, Chris Latham's done his knee. I want you to come back. I want you to come back with these young blokes. And I've gone, no way. No way, my friend. Next minute, I'll ring you in a couple of months. Yep, he rang me in a couple of weeks. Walks, I need you home. Can you come home and help me out? Nah, no way.
I'm busy holidaying in France. Go away.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this time over here. You know what I mean? Like, terrible weather, but I'm still loving the holidays. You know what I mean? So next minute, so the third phone call happens, and I really considered it. I went, why this phone call? You know what I mean? Why this third phone call?
Yeah.
And so I really considered, and I went, I come back home, and believe it or not, a lot of people don't get their money off the French people coming back home.
Right.
I got all, like, it was an unbelievable story by the grace of God. You know what I mean? Yeah. I got my money.
Right.
I got all my money, and I come back home.
Okay.
And I ended up playing with the Reds for 2 more years.
Yeah.
And I sort of come home very overweight, eating too much croissants and everything else.
A few snails and frog legs in there?
Oh, mate, I hated them. No. I was into the croissants. I love the croissants. You know
they're great, aren't they? Basically, just deep fried butter and bread. It's great.
Oh, mate, like the lot, like, and talking about the meat over there, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough raw, and I mean, what the hell? Go and cook this thing, you know what I mean? So I ended up coming back home playing well overweight for the Reds, you know what I mean? and I sort of ended my career in 08.
Yeah.
You know, 2008, I ended my career there, and just ended up playing another 3 years after that, like just in local rugby with East Tigers.
Nice. Oh, what a great way to finish your career. What an amazing career you had. Quite a long career, actually.
Well, it
Spent
was
quite a long
like
time.
it was, and you know, like for the career I had, you know what I mean. Like injury wise, was pretty good. I sort of
Yeah.
really looked after myself, and really looked after myself. But the thing was, for me, it was all about maintaining my body and looking after it, really, because like now, like I find it hard not training.
Yeah.
Like all these footballers do it for so long, and they just forget about it. Like
They
it's
go
a
the other
part,
way. Yeah.
it's a partier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I've always said, Dave, like once I stop, my body will shut down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So that's why I'm a little bit frightened to not, you know,
Yeah.
just stop all at once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was playing rugby league on the weekend, believe it or not.
Wow, you're still going. Well, you're in pretty bloody good shape. I've seen photos of you after your runs, and you're in still amazing condition.
Well, we haven't done it in your whole career for like 12 years. Well, I've done it for probably 14 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's a partier.
Yeah.
Like it is a partier. Like just being healthy and having a healthy mind. Like I'll tell you what more can be better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't drink, I don't smoke. You know what I mean? I don't touch anything. So that's why I wanted to be a really good, you know, role model for our community, our community and my culture.
That's awesome, man. You've got. I think you've got to have something like I love training. I love running. You know, I'm 40 this year, but I'm still like trying to improve every year. Run as much as I can. Even though I was injured for the last few months, I've still been doing whatever I can to stay fit. You know,
Like the big thing for me, Dave, is like having that stimulant. You know what I
yes,
mean?
man.
Like
Yes.
it's the next thing for me. Like, what am I going to do with myself after this? You know what I mean? That's what I look for. And I said, oh well, if I can still run, I'm gonna try a marathon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm
I
gonna
need
try.
that. I need that next level something to go for all the time. I need that in my life all the time.
Yeah. Like I'm always striving for the next challenge.
Yeah, man.
You know
That's
what I mean?
me.
Because for me, like once you're staggered, and
Yeah.
once you're staggered, that's when you can get yourself into trouble. I
Yeah,
think.
100% agree. Right, let's finish with a few fun questions. Who's going to win the NRL in 2020?
Well, look, everyone's saying the Roosters are over the salary cap. I can't see that anymore. You know what I mean?
I think they've come back to the pack a bit.
No, look, I believe, look, Penrith will be hard to beat this year, but my Roosters, I think my Roosters might get there this year.
I think they're a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a chance. They're a chance if they don't break down. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that. Yeah, I'm thinking the Roosters and Penrith this year.
Okay, awesome. So I know you don't watch a lot of TV, but do you have a favorite TV show from now or back in the day?
Look, back in the day, believe it or not, it was Doctor Who.
Oh, mate, that's brilliant.
Oh, Doctor Who.
That's a good answer. I love it. Okay, last question. If you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
I'd probably give it to someone else.
Oh, mate, you're a generous man.
I'd probably give it to someone else because I'm not going to need it.
That's a good answer. First answer like that I've had. Oh, that's brilliant, man. I just want to thank you so much for giving up your time, coming on the show. Like you're an amazing player. What a career. You're a great man. And thank you so much for giving up your time and answering all my questions. Like, what a fascinating journey you've had.
Like I said, Dave, like I don't know, there's grace of God that done it for me because for a person like me, Indigenous person, ain't supposed to make it in this game. And lucky I had thick skin, I think.
Yeah, mate. At least now there's more knowledge and effort being put into that side of the game, which hopefully, you know, thanks to the likes of Preston Campbell, now we've got this Indigenous round and the concept, and it's actually, you know, growing the game in that area, which is wonderful. So, yeah, thank you to everyone for watching. Make sure you get on the Facebook group. It's a great group. Heaps of cool league players in there from Andrew Walker's era. I'm actually like pinching myself every day when I see some of the names in there. Get on the YouTube channel, follow it, hit that subscribe button, and help promote the game of rugby league around the world. That's what we need to do.
And Dave, you're doing a great thing on this podcast, mate. Keep it up, eh?
Oh, mate, thanks so much. I really do appreciate that. I'm very passionate about the game, and my mission is just to spread the love of rugby league around the community, the world, and also make sure players like yourself are always remembered. So that's...
And Davey, up the wires.
Up the wires. All right. Catch you later, everyone. We'll see you next time for kickoff.
See you, mate.
Full time.